Students, today I'm going to give you a gist of the lesson third level, which I have already taught you all. First of all, third level is any non-existing place which comes to your imagination, maybe in the past or maybe in the future. And the third level deals with the stories of the genera, the psychological genera. And I have already told you that psychology deals with the study of the mind. Mind is the place where all the thought processes keep taking place in a human body. Our thoughts can carry us into the past or into the future. We may visualize these thoughts, means the images which may come in front of us, the pictures which may come in front of us. Whenever we imagine or think very intensely, this kind of situation comes. And in this story, the character Charles is lost in a world of his own. And in this, the third level is the Grand Central Station, which he visits through his imaginations and reaches that station, which is in the past, in the year 1994. This is all due to his each and every word that I'm using in this video. Kindly make a note of them and listen to them and check up the dictionary for the meaning. Of course, I will be telling you the meaning also. He is carried to this place of his imagination, and he gives a very vivid, very clear description of all that he sees. The people, their dressing, their way of life, the roads, their houses of the old-fashioned roads covered with huge, tremendous trees with a canopy over it, and the peaceful, relaxed life that the people lead over there. This is all due to Charles' hallucination. Hallucination. This means the fabrication of your imaginative things, that something that does not exist. And it is called the sensory perception of things which do not exist. There are many terms used in the chapter. Waking dream. Waking dream means when you are dreaming while you are awake, not asleep. And wish fulfillment. Wish fulfillment means whatever you imagine or think about, those things you start picturizing in images. And you are lost into that world which you go through your imaginations. Then there is another term, figment of his imagination. Figment of his imagination means the fabrication of the things that he sees through his imagination. That is why in the chapter he has described the way the people live, the way they dress, the currencies that were used, and how relaxed and peaceful these people were in those times. And one more very important aspect about this story is that he escapes from the present day modern world, and he is lost in another world. Now, what does this give him? This gives him the bliss, BLISS. Bliss means perfect happiness. Why? Because he is carried away from the insecurities and uncertainties of the present modern day world, which is full of stress, troubles, pain, anxiety, rivalry, cutthroat competition, and all the hustle and bustle of the modern day life. If you connect this to the present day scenario, we are going through the pandemic period, the whole world. There is a lot of uncertainty because we do not know what is going to happen in the future. What will be the final consequence of this pandemic which has affected the world? Our schooling has been affected. We are at stress. So, Charles finds a way to escape from all these troubles, anxieties, stress, pressures of the modern day life, and goes into his own imaginative world, which he describes in the third level. And he enjoys the bliss. Bliss means perfect happiness. He is relaxed. And even when his wife and he consulted the psychiatrist told him that you are living in an imaginative world which does not exist. He even goes on to say, or as a general rule, such people who suffer from these kind of things are always lost in their imaginations. They suffer a mental disorder, or you can say they are mentally disarrayed, or you can say they are mentally imbalanced, or you can say that they have lost their mental equilibrium. But here, if you see, nothing of this sort happens to Charles. Charles enjoys the bliss of his imaginative world. He has escaped from all the problems of the modern day world. And the psychiatrist who told him that he is living in an imaginative world, he needs to come out of it, which does not really exist, but he says he is treating him. And at the end of the chapter, if you remember, Charles got the first day cover, which was sent by Sam from the third level Grand Central Hotel, Grand Central Station, or Galesburg. The name of the place was Galesburg. And he tells him that about the live piano, somebody is playing the piano, he's invited for a lemonade party. How relaxed, how peaceful they were there. And the end line says, go on, keep looking for the third level. It's worth it. It's worth it. Why? Because it carries you away from this present day world into a peaceful world, into a pleasant world, into a world which is very quiet, serene, and you can lead a very relaxed, tension-free life. This is what he does, and he has given us a very vivid, clear description of the places that he has visited, that is Galesburg, and he is so much interested in revisiting those places that he goes to a coin dealer and exchanges the present day modern currency notes to the old currency note of those times. So you can see how greatly he was interested in living in his own imaginative world, which he liked. And one more thing, it's not always that these kind of mental disorder have a negative aspect. Now, if you see to the positive aspect, is that whenever in this he tells us about the hobby pursued, like stamp collection. If you pursue a hobby, maybe gardening, maybe music, maybe stamp collection, maybe painting, maybe dance, maybe anything, whenever you pursue a hobby and the time you give to your hobby, if you ever think that during that time when you are pursuing your hobby, you are lost in it completely, engrossed in it completely, that you forget what is around you, or you forget the present, and you are transported into a state of perfect happiness where you are very satisfied, very relaxed, and tension free. So kindly go through this video for a better understanding of the chapter. I will also be adding some footnotes for your help. Go through them and connect up with the lesson. Okay. Today I shall be giving you the gist of the chapter, The Enemy, which we are about to begin tomorrow. First of all, understand the title. The title is The Enemy. Enemy is any person for whom you have strong hatred to the extent that you develop a feeling of revenge against him or her for the wrong he or she has done to you, and you are always scheming, plotting, planning to harm that person to the extent of taking his life. That is what an enemy is. Now, this story is based on the background of the World War. Let me tell you something about Japan, because the story is about a Japanese doctor couple. Japan during the World War was attacked by America. If you remember, Hiroshima, Nagasaki were bombarded and atomic bombs were dropped. And there was huge and large scale destruction, devastation, and there were very, very serious consequences of the radiations, and the Japanese suffered for many years. So, Japanese had a hatred towards the Americans. The base of the story is this. Now, Dr. Sudhao and his wife, they had gone to America to study medicine, that is, to do their MBBS, MS or MD. After they had completed their studies, they came back to Japan, and they were of a very traditional family. And finally, Dr. Sudhao had met his wife in America only, and eventually he came down after completing their medical studies and got married to her in Japan in a very traditional manner, and they settled down. Now, let me tell you that Dr. Sudhao was a doctor of very great repute. Repute means who was well known, famous for his practice of medicine, to the extent that he was called by the army general or the commander in chief, who was right at that time controlling all the military actions of Japan. So you can say that he was a doctor of the very high class people, the VIPs of Japan. He was well known, and you can say he had a very good reputation among the Japanese. Now what happens is, this chapter deals with the mental conflict or the dilemma. Dilemma is when you are in a confused state of mind, you cannot decide what to do. One morning, when it was very hazy and very misty, foggy, and Dr. Sudhao was standing on the balcony of his house, you can say, and facing the sea. Because Japan, you know, is a country made up of many islands, and there is sea all over the place. So his house was facing the sea. One morning he saw a body of a human being thrown onto the shore by the waves of the sea. Now, he was very curious, who is this? So he went there and saw that it was a young, you can say a young man, hardly 22 years of age, in the prime of his youth, you can say. He was lying there on the rocky shores, and he was bleeding. There was a wound on him, in his back, and he had fallen on the rocks also, and the rock protruded into the wounds. Now the doctor, when he turned him around, he saw that this fellow was an American. Now, as a Japanese, should he help an American who was the enemy? And as a doctor, should he save a human life? Because if he favors an enemy, gives the enemy shelter in his own home, he will be branded as a national anti-national. And let me tell you, the Japanese people are one of the most patriotic people of the world. Nation to them is above everything, whatever it may be. Nation to them is above everything. Now the doctor is in a mental conflict. As a doctor, should he save human life? Or as a patriot, should he hand him over to the authorities? If he saves him as a doctor, he is acting against the nation. He will be branded as an anti-national and may be arrested and sent to prison and punished for life. Now this is the dilemma, or this is the mental conflict in which the doctor is. This is the theme of the story. And finally, the general whom the doctor treats, the general shares, the Dr. Sadao shares this happening with the general. The general tells him, you don't worry, you just keep him in the room where you have kept him and keep the windows open in the night, and I will send some assassins. Assassins are those people who are involved in very high profile murder cases, especially those of very big businessmen, business tycoons, very big political figures. When they are killed, the killers are known as assassins. So he says, I will send some assassins who are very professional, and they will just kill that fellow in such a professional way that nobody will ever come to know about it. And then night after night, Sadao used to keep waking up late at night. Whenever any kind of sound, rustling of the leaves in the garden, some kind of movement due to the breeze, he used to think that the assassins are there and they have killed him. But the next morning, when he gets there into the room, he sees that the POW, the prisoner of war, is there, and whatever treatment he had given him is now showing results, and he is recovering fast, and he had nearly recovered. And during this time, what happened was, the general who had told him that he will send assassins, the general became very critically ill, and Sadao began treating him. And that is why the assassins did not come to kill him. Finally, what happens is, as I told you, that they were Sadao was in a dilemma, in a mental conflict, or whether he should act as a patriot or whether he should act as a doctor. Here I must tell you that whenever we enter any kind of profession, maybe an IPS officer, doctors, engineers, politicians, whenever they are elected, you must have seen all of them take an oath. An oath is a promise made by an individual that he will do his duties honestly, sincerely, dedicatedly, devotedly, wholeheartedly, So a doctor also takes an oath, and this is called the Hippocrates oath. They also take an oath, and when completing their medical studies, so he had taken an oath, and that in that oath the doctor says that his endeavor, his efforts will always be there for saving human life. Now, Dr. Sudhao, if you remember, was a trained doctor, so he was bound by this promise or this oath that he had taken as a doctor. And as a Japanese national, he was bound by his patriotism. Now, these two things are troubling him. How should he act? What should we do? This is the mental conflict in which the doctor is. This is the indecisive state of mind in which he is. But finally, humanity prevails over patriotism, and Dr. Sudhao finally helps him in every way as a doctor, by providing him treatment, taking care of him day and night, keeping him in his house, and finally, when he is absolutely okay, he provides him a boat with some food material, with a little clothing, and makes him move away to the sea and tells him that you go to that island which he points out. Many ships come passing by there and hardly anyone stay. It is a desolated island. So you can wait and watch over there, but he also gives him a warning that you must not light any kind of fire, because any kind of light or fire will reveal your presence on the island. And he helps him to move away. So this is the end. Kindly go through this video, listen to it, so that tomorrow when we begin this chapter, you are able to understand it better.